Hello, everyone. My name is Jim Lietz, and I'm a special education teacher here in central Wisconsin. I'm also a graduate student in GCU under Professor Kimber Underdown, and right now I'm in SPD 501. Today, we're going to talk about my professional disposition. This disposition has been identified as the most influential quality of a highly effective educator. Now, after taking the self-assessment survey and reflecting on my personal values, the first part of our assessment asks us about our role in special education as teachers. It's important here to remember that our job is to first believe that all students can learn and that we should set and support realistic expectations for their success. In my classroom, my very first philosophy is that we are our students' rock, their home base, and their main supporter. When we begin each school year, it is important as special education teachers to establish a positive relationship that is consistent and rooted in honesty. Now, when we establish this relationship, we then have the door open to support the students' learning. Now, to do this successfully, it is our job as special education teachers to put in the work. This means planning appropriately based on reflections of our observations and of our students. Observing and reflecting will give us an idea on how to adjust and improve the whole room's practices to ensure that everyone has an opportunity to be successful, even with the unique traits and behaviors that they each may present. Now, we don't need to do this alone. In fact, our professional conduct, when done appropriately, should involve positive interactions with not only the students and staff in our classrooms, but also with their families, our own teaching peers, school facilities, administrators, and any viable external audiences. Believing and striving towards a principle of student success is a vital part of advancing the profession of special education. Reflecting on my personal background, I find that the main biases that I currently possess that will help me be successful include respect for diversity of others, professional conduct, and reflection. My family has owned and operated a small business since 1985. My parents did this while raising my brother and myself, and also our little sister, who has pretty severe intellectual disabilities. If we wanted to be successful in business and in life, we had no choice to respect everybody, especially the customers that pass through our doors, despite our own personal biases. We needed to conduct our own actions appropriately to exhibit a positive and encouraging image to the public. This included strong customer service, a positive yet patient demeanor, and we needed to reflect our successes and our failures to adjust our business practices and continue down the path of business success. Now, 10 years ago, I began my life away from this business. I began being a teacher in the special education field. I needed to practice what my parents and sister taught me to be successful in business and then try to apply that to my new career in education. I feel I do best at understanding each individual student and working with them to use their unique talents to be successful, despite any disability or negative influences they have in their personal lives. Now, I work hard to establish relationships with my peers so that we can collaborate and help our students. Finally, I reflect daily on what is working in my classroom. I do not keep these reflections bottled up, though. Instead, I try to relay them to my staff and my coworkers in an attempt to find ways that I can do better. Now, though I've been in the career of special education for what I feel is a long time, I'm a firm believer that I can do better and I can improve. When reflecting on the dispositions, the one that stood out to me was the title of curiosity. See, I work hard at my students to find their strengths and exhibit them, but I need to work more on motivating them to explore. I worry we spend way too much time working with our students to learn what we feel is important. Instead, it is my goal to work with my students to find out what they feel is important or what they are interested in learning about. Our final question for this assignment discussed personal biases. This is a human trait, one that we cannot ignore, but understand and realize that there is no room for them in any classroom. As our students enter our lives, we must hold to the belief that all of them can learn, and we will do our best to advocate for them and help them during this process. If anyone in our rooms or buildings choose to act upon personal biases when interacting with students, that relationship is no longer rooted in honesty, which, as I had mentioned earlier, is the key to a successful relationship. Now, despite the background that each student presents, we have no choice but to encourage their progress under our care. No teacher should be practicing in this profession if they cannot put their personal biases aside. And we all need to work on our relationship skills to make sure that our students, their families, our staff in the classroom, and even ourselves can and will be successful. Thank you everyone for taking time out of your day to listen to my professional disposition. I'm proud to be a special education teacher, and I'm also happy to learn more on how we can improve and do better. Have a great day.